What's up, everybody? It's your boy GRC. I shaved my face. I look like a little boy now. And compared to some of you old boys, I am a little boy. Let's check the comments real quick. I'm in an absolutely fantastic mood. And I know I say that every day at 11 a.m. Eastern because it's so true. But today, even better. You know why? I don't know. Darn. I was like number 2 today. Gonna have to get here faster next time. Curricula, if you want to come in here in 30 minutes, by all means. By all means. It is a good topic today. We're going to read through some stuff. So much current event news, guys. If you're in crypto and you're not watching Crypto in the Morning, you are in trouble. Okay? Me likey too. Congrats on 2K, boy. Did we get to 2K? I mean, look, heck yeah. Hell yeah. Paul Sachs, thank you so much, Cryptographics. Hope you can come on soon. Biceps in the chat for early Friday woot woot. I was hoping today's not Friday. It's Thursday, right? Or I'm messed up. Michelle, KS, Melf Tony, everyone. Allie Kane, 32. Chad Donnerschwans. Boss. Bobla guy. Thank you so much for being you. So this means I'm definitely not pregnant. Facts. Hex 2K, great to see you. Michelle, Mark, super physiologically dopaminergic in the morning. That's generally how I feel. By 6 o'clock, I'm basically a useless turd. Guys, real quick, I am going to share this link really fast. Go ahead and share this out in any way, shape, or form you see fit, whether that's on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, Facebook. Share it out. Share it out to someone who should be paying attention and who might like this content, because those are the people that I want to be watching. Isn't it Saturday? I don't know what day it is anymore, guys. The frame says crypto in the evening. We'll fix that. That's okay. That's my bad. Let me see. Boop. Perfect. Sorry about that. Guys, we'll be back in 1 minute. In a few seconds, we have DeFi proof, crypto in the morning. We have a big one today. Sam's brain's on overload. My brain's on overload. Bullish's brain's on overload. And let's dump it all onto the screen today, guys. GRC out, crypto in the morning. Share this out, 11 a.m. Eastern. Be right back.
You already know what time it is.
Crypto in the morning.
Crypto in the morning.
Crypto in the morning.
Waiting on phone.
Crypto in the morning. Crypto in the morning.
We're gonna take notes.
Crypto in the morning.
Crypto in the morning.
Crypto in the morning.
Waiting on phone.
Crypto in the morning. Crypto in the morning.
We're gonna take notes.
Smoking a blunt on my way to the gym. 11 a.m. and I'm already tuned in. Got me some hex and I'm making a stay. Got me some heads on, I'm making it rain. Pay me some maxi and that's just in case. Jim ready sent me to show you the way.
DeFi proof.
Crypto in the morning.
Crypto in the morning.
Crypto in the morning.
Waiting on phone.
Crypto in the morning. Crypto in the morning.
We're gonna take notes.
Crypto in the morning.
Crypto in the morning.
Crypto in the morning.
Waiting on phone.
Crypto in the morning. Crypto in the morning.
We're gonna take notes.
I was muted. There we go. Good morning, sir. How you doing? I'm excited. I'm excited to see all this news. We got a lot of stuff happening in crypto. To put it into context, we're in a recession. We have a tremendous amount of inflation that is also increasing. while at the same time we have development upon development upon development of new projects, and there's all of this stuff happening and taking place in crypto. We've shown you the adoption curve of crypto. We already know the future. We're just going to play it out for you because we already know what's happening. We're just going to show you as it actually happens. There was somebody in the comments I want to say hi to because it was their birthday. Frack, what's Gucci? What's good? Hey, happy birthday, brother. I hope you
Happy birthday, Frack. Cheers.
Amazing birthday. Cheers, bro. How you doing, dude? I like the shaved.
It's a trimmed up just to see what it's like but it'll be back soon. It'll be back soon. We got so much stuff to cover today. I don't even know. We're gonna start somewhere, but for me, I'm doing good. You know, it's been crazy. About to cross 2K subs, getting a lot of support. We're moving forward like a well-oiled machine here. Crypto in the morning, and I just can't wait. Just like you said, all these opportunities in the bear market. There's opportunities all over the bear market. It just depends how much you want to pay attention.
I've been doing a lot of deep dives on my channel lately. You guys can check it out, link down below, where I dive into all these different projects, and people talk about how there's a lot of like crap in crypto, right? That things are just utter shit. And I hear these things, and I hadn't have the experience or the like depth of being in the market to see this happen. And as I read through these like white papers or light papers and go through and on these people's websites and look at everything that they have on their websites, I am confirming what everybody was saying, that a lot of shit is just utter crap out there. And
no one reads.
No one reads any of this stuff. Such crap out there. I did a deep dive on a project that I just released the thing on this morning, and you're like, why would anybody buy this? I literally was trying, and I'm optimistic. Like, I'm trying to understand why anybody would buy this. And I'm like, why would anybody spend their money on something where they get taxed 30% to do something? I don't know. Why would you do, like, go live in New York?
Like, that's like saying you get a full paycheck, but I want to bring my money to YouTube so they can take half of it. It's like, no, just keep it in your bank, bro.
I just don't get it. I don't understand why.
Well, that's the whole thing. It's a hype train thing. It's just a momentum thing. They just want people to see it, read it. 100 grand here, 200 grand here from a couple different entities or people. 10 grand, 5 grand, 2 grand, exit liquidity. Boom, boom, boom. Get out of there, make a living, be out.
That's what it seems like.
That's what it is. No, that's what it is. It's opportunity, and it's narcissistic people behind closed doors that don't necessarily care, which is fine. Those people exist. They're just, it is what it is. Some people are just raised that way. That's normal to them. I know people that would steal from you, and it's normal to them. They don't sleep different at nighttime.
Which is crazy.
I would.
Yeah,
I would.
correct.
If I stole from someone, I'd be like, oh God, my life's gonna suck. I'm gonna do all these bad things now. Like, like I would just be like, oh, I have to make amends for this. Like, what's gonna, it's just, but some people's parents didn't, or whatever, just it wasn't implanted into their brain for whatever reason. And that's a large majority of people due to the brainwash and like societal wrecking that most people get. Like, most people just get wrecked, and then they hate their life.
And you're like, damn, this is crazy to think about that people actually make those decisions, and there's no like mental like struggle to like jump off that cliff. It's just like, oh, this is just how it is. It's okay to fuck people over.
Oh, it's always how it is. Oh, I have a kid. Yeah, that's how the cookie crumbles. It's like, really? Didn't have to. You could have crumbled it somewhere else.
Yes.
You could have just put something around your penis, or you could have just not been careless.
Yeah,
but it's not is what it is. And then they just start talking about God the second a kid comes out. They're like, Jesus is real, and I'm like, okay. Like,
but even in their business dealings, like, I couldn't go through and do business with you with like the intention to rip you off. Like, I just couldn't do business that way. I can't do business because that's not how I am. I would like not feel good.
Put yourself out there. It's like a business model too. Like, you have to sell who you are too, as an honest person, because you're like, it takes a lot of work to like put yourself in front of everyone, and it also takes a certain like degree of like liability if you're gonna just lie. Like, I know people getting death threats right now because of the stuff that they shilled, and you know why I'm so scared to shill stuff, because GRC doesn't like death threats. Not because of like whatever, like probably wouldn't occur or whatever. It's not necessarily the point. The point is, it's not good and fun, and it's bad to make people hate you. And don't make people hate you if you don't have to, but it takes work. You actually have to provide value. You can't just take value. That's what happens when you take value and then it comes around after a bull market, and it's like, where's all my value? And you're like, oh, I got it.
Yes. I think over this next like 18 months, because I do think this bear market, I was looking at like Bitcoin, and I saw that from like there was like a 2 or 3 year period of time, there was a bear market right after 2017 where it was just kind of flat, not much happened. And I think we're entering in another one of those areas potentially where it could be. I mean, like, I wouldn't be surprised if, say, Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Hex all kind of don't really do much for the next like 12 months. Like,
I think
maybe drop
Binance will
further.
I think Binance will survive the bear market. I think Solana will survive the bear market. I think Polkadot will survive the bear market, and I think Hex will survive the bear market. Everything else in the top 17, I don't think will be there.
The Doges, the
I mean, the
Sheaves, all
UST, that's all variable, but like, let me look at what they are right now. So we got Dogecoin. I mean, it's not going to be gone, but I think it'll fizzle out, but potentially not. Again, XRP will be done here shortly. It has to be. Like, it hasn't hit an all-time high in 5 years. Sam, you could have bought XRP for the same price as right now 5 years ago, and there have more community in crypto than any their XRP. I can't remember their names, but it's like they have a little Ripple community. Everyone, blah blah blah. I'm like, I've been looking at this thing since the day I got in, and I'm like, they've been under lawsuits. Everything's bullshit. Someone else could do it. It's just like everything in the book that tells you, and there's people, smart people, that truthfully believe for no reason that they are hodling XRP, but most of them are lying. There's a girl called XRP Jenna, and she won't switch her name, and she's popular. XRP,
they have a big community.
XRP Gym Rat.
They have a giant community too. There's a lot of activity around XRP on Twitter, and you look at it and you're like, what is going on here? What do you think of Cardano? Do you think Cardano
it'll be gone?
You think that'll die through?
I mean, maybe not the price chart, but there's nothing there. There is nothing there. Like, there's nothing there yet. It's just a meme coin. Basically, I know you can do some shit on there now, but like the first day they launched the DEX, like crashed in like 20 minutes. No, seriously.
I did not know that.
Yeah, it was like a month ago. It was like, but if you look at Charles Hoskinson, what does he do? He's so popular. So these things are weird. But again, if we get in enough turmoil, I don't care how popular you are. People want their USD, period. Doesn't matter anymore. It's like, that's the thing about RH that's different. It's like you're getting yield when you get his product. It doesn't matter what you do with him. But with Charles Hoskinson, it's just like you're just banking on like riddles to come true. Like in literal riddles. Like you don't know what he's talking about when he talks. He's just talking about Ethiopia and adoption to people that don't have money. He just uses all, and it sounds amazing. He always mentions like, my goal is to give people that are centralized and getting destroyed by their banks that are in third world countries the ability to transact. That's super amazing, dude. Do it then, and then come back and then talk about it. It's been years. And he was there for Ethereum. Like, this dude has been here for 11 years and he has failed to act properly.
Do you think, I haven't done the deep dive into Cardano. They also have a big community too. Huge. But do you know the conversation you were talking about Cardano and them maybe not like doing much over this next bear market, or even actually losing ground to certain things, right? Well, Pulse Chain, right, will hopefully launch at some point in this year. And the conversation we had with Frosty yesterday talking about nodes. Mm-hmm. What hypothetically, and I don't know, Bullish can jump in if he wants to, if Pulse Chain launches and within some period of time, Pulse Chain has more nodes than Ethereum, how does that affect the ecosystem, right? Because Ethereum... At
that point, do you think the market cap of Pulse Chain would be crossing that of Ethereum? By definition, probably, yes. But again, what we were talking about yesterday is like a node campaign, or like a node, something to either monetize, advertise, or scale the node network. Because what's our competition, guys? 5,800 Ethereum nodes and we win.
That's it.
And we win.
So what does that mean, Bullish? What does that mean?
Do you mean that as far as adoption or as far as?
So if Pulse Chain say launches at some point later this year, and over the course of the following X number of months or years, the number of nodes in Pulse say goes to 12,000 nodes in Pulse Chain versus say that number creeps from 5,800 to like 6,500 for Ethereum. How does that affect things?
From a monetary standpoint, not much, but we will be able to brag that we are truly the most decentralized layer 1,
which is big in crypto.
Which is big in crypto.
That's a big marketing statement in crypto. It's an important marketing statement, and people understand those words. They don't understand nodes, but they understand those words.
Yeah, because people already at this point, anyone who's been in crypto long enough and understands Infura is essentially a centralized entity. So if we can brag that we're the most truly decentralized layer 1, it can do a lot as far as adoption, but not as far as price immediately, in my opinion.
So having the largest node network attached to Pulse Chain is obviously not going to be like, oh, that's going to add a 0 to the price of Pulse. But what you're, I think, alluding to, and I don't know the semantics of it, but it could be helpful for a marketing standpoint to drive up adoption, which obviously, if you look at price performance, what drives up price is demand. If demand increases, then price increases.
Right. Yeah. And eventually what you will see is Richard Hart bragging even more about, my layer 1 is truly the most decentralized. Look what all these hexagons are doing.
Because what can Richard Hart not say, Sam? What can he not say? He cannot. He says we have 100% uptime. That's like his little counter. It's like a little swift way of saying, but we have 100% uptime dependent on centralized Ethereum nodes.
Right.
Very good point.
Right.
And what's Ethereum's uptime? Someone let me know in the comments. Not 100%.
So
and also give
Hex has been out, but it's not 100%.
Give context real quick on why Ethereum is like the backbone behind Hex and why it is not decentralized, because there was probably some people watching today, they didn't catch that yesterday, but Ethereum is thought of as decentralized, but when you look at their node network, it is not, and that creates a vulnerability there. Can you explain that?
Richard's a perfectionist, so he doesn't like having to rely. So Hex is amazing, right? And the idea for Hex early on was amazing. Ethereum, things were new. Now I don't think as Ethereum prices went up and they started to be not good, because that's what happened. Ethereum started to suck. And that is when the change happened. And Richard said, I'm always going to be their slave. In his head. This is what I'm thinking in my head. I'm always going to be their slave. Why? Because Richard knows all about these node networks, probably very, very disgustingly, intimately compared to us. And he does not like being controlled. So imagine, what should I do? Let me fork Ethereum and do this myself. I have the best community in the world. They'll probably take care of it.
Yeah.
Who this is for the community that's watching this or listening to this. The three of us, Bullish, GRC, and myself, are all on Twitter. Links are down below. Who in the community is an expert on nodes, knows all about nodes, how to monetize nodes, all the details around nodes? Touch base with us, tag
Feeder.
us. Let's get them on the show, because this is a problem that we can solve.
Yeah.
Guys?
Right before we started the show, Sam and I were having a powwow on potential ways to help for adoption and really get this off the ground running. And Sam has a lot of good ideas. You know what I mean? So stay tuned for that, because we would love to speak to someone who understands the monetization standpoint, so we can validate what we're thinking. Because
if you look at Ethereum, Bullish and I were talking about this beforehand. If you look at Ethereum and they're like, oh, you get a node and you can be serving the community and helping security and blah, 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 right? It's just like, shut the fuck up, bro. If that was working, there'd be more than 5,800 nodes. There's only 5,800 nodes. That pitch is not working. We need a new pitch. So Bullish and I were brainstorming, and there's a lot of different ways we can go with this. So we want to talk to other people. We want to hear from you guys so that we can solve this problem, because this is going to help crypto. We're not sure how. We're super early in this process, but continue to learn and continue to grow through this process, because this will be fun, right? Like you were saying yesterday, GSC, 5,800. How hard that? How hard could that be to get 5,800?
We
I
have
feel like I could do
100,000
that. If
people
that
in
was
the
my
staker
only
class.
job, I could do that.
We have
Yes.
100,000 people in the staker class. We just need
We just need
6,000 people in the staker
5%.
class.
Education is what is necessary here. We have the people, we have the money, we have the brain power, we have the depths, probably we have the hardware ability. We just need education now. It's all about education because, guys, I don't have any incentive to tell you guys to buy fucking nodes. Like, you guys might think Frosty does because he's a little bit like different than me and he probably has more money, like a lot more money. But that's not the point. Frosty's awesome, first of all. And second of all, this is important for all of our bags too. And it could be solved rather easily if we're creative.
We have to be creative. So I think a token, and I'd like to hear what you guys think about this. What about coming out with a token that is attached to the node in some way? Where Bullish was mentioning, you can run a node. You can have a node with different parts inside of it that he knows more about than I do, where you can run, say, the node for Bitcoin. You can run a node for Ethereum. You could run a node for Pulse Chain, and maybe you want to run a node for one or two other networks. And some of those nodes, if they're set up in some way, allow you to earn. So it would effectively be, here is something that allows you to make money while increasing the decentralization of the entire space that is crypto. Specifically, if you're in Pulse, it does that, right? But across the whole entire space, you can earn money. And by doing that, you're able to mint a token of some sort, the node token or something along those lines, to really help move this thing along and spread this. Because how is something decentralized if there's trillions of dollars and there's only 6,000 people that control that, basically?
And within that,
that's actually way less than that.
And within that 6,000 people, how many people control it? Probably like 20.
Thank you.
Right.
You're absolutely right.
Yep. Absolutely.
Probably,
Yep.
if that's being nice.
And we already know that 68% of it is already centralized on hosting companies.
Exactly.
So
fair
it's
enough.
just like,
It's just another
Yeah.
centralization layer. There's just centralization layer after centralization layer, and now we realize we need a layer one. Period.
a
And
truly
on-ramp.
decentralized layer
And
one.
on ramps.
And on ramp and off ramp.
And then it's, guys, could be
Both-
deadly.
Bullish
And a
was also-
wallet.
Bro, I think that a wallet, if we came out with a wallet, or if RH comes out with a wallet, what would make a wallet win tremendously and add to the ecosystem of Hex, Pulse, and PulseX, coming out with a wallet where you can swap. So having PulseX built into the wallet, you can swap with no fees. Unlike every fucking other wallet out there, what is going to help your ecosystem of Pulse, PulseX, and Hex coming out with a wallet that allows you to swap within the wallet? And that's just one killer thing. Think about how awesome that would be. Plus, if you could have like analytics in there, whether trades or tracking stuff for tax purposes, all of that stuff built into the app. Wow, that would be incredible to have something like that.
Well, yeah, we can spend another episode talking about this. So I'm gonna drop down so we can get into today's topics. But
Yeah.
great talk.
Yeah, no,
Yes, thank
I
you
think
both.
it's important, and we're going to mention that a couple of times here in the next couple of weeks because that's what me and Sam are kind of learning about. That's what Bullish is really learning about, and that's what a lot of the, I'm more of a marketer myself, so I've always come from the angle of like, let me know what's going on, and I will spread the word, right? Like whatever I have to do, whatever. What about helium nodes stuff? Can't we use that? I don't think so. I got to look more into that. But when I was talking about Tangent, like, he came back with me for a lot more information about helium nodes, and it's a lot more limiting than I think some people will realize, but I can't say any of those details without.
Yeah, we can do
information.
something completely new or better, or tap into something else that's a little bit more consistent as far as payouts.
Yes.
Because I think that we've talked about this, to have the nodes like actually accelerate the adoption of nodes, but also increasing the adoption of nodes increases decentralization, increases the ability of marketing to focus on that and increase the adoption of crypto in general, right? So you have all these things layered on top of each other. I believe there has to be something related to money because the other pitch is not working. We got to have something related to money where somebody can make money, or there's a business model, whether it's a token or something behind it. Maybe it's an NFT. I'm not super, like, I think NFTs are awesome, but it's not something that I'm like super into, but something related to making money with node operating to make it so that people can plug in this node and it prints them $100 a month. Right, just plug the shit in. You're helping the community. You're helping yourself. You're actually watching your own bag, and you're increasing adoption. And having a DApp or a app that you can just load on there that decreases the fees, like just something that would just be so much better than what's available. Like when the iPhone came out, it was an MP3 player. It was a this thing. It was a that thing, and it was connected to the internet, all wrapped into one. We can do this with a node, but let's talk about that more in the future because we got some cool stuff to get into today. You want to pull up one of those things that we have for Newswise today?
Yes. So I'm going to read this and then you can just comment on it as we go. USDC issuer Circle to introduce euro-backed stablecoin in the US. Now I'm not going to really trust the title on this right away. I'm going to read the article, guys, because again, there could be some nuance here that we got to read about. The euro coin will be backed by euro-denominated reserve held by U.S. regulated financial institutions. And from what Bullish told me, it sounds like Circle is the same people that deal in USDC. So it's kind of they're just making a move on Europe. Yes. Circle Internet Financial, the issuer of the USDC coin, dollar peg stable coin. Very important to remember that it's a dollar peg stable coin. Why do I swap all my stuff to USDC when I switch to stable coins? Because they tell me it's dollar backed. I don't really haven't looked in it, but I've seen the numbers on it. That's why I use it, because the other stuff kind of scares me still. Is set to introduce a new token by the end of the month. This one backed by the single European currency. The euro coin, Euro C, will be fully backed by euro-denominated reserves held in the custody of a financial institution that falls within the U.S. regulatory parameters. The company announced Thursday one such institution will be San Diego-based Single Gate Bank, the company said. That's pretty cool. Euro C joins the short list of euro-backed stablecoins, including UERT issued by Tether and UERS from Malta-based Stasis. Tether is also the issuer of the largest dollar-pegged coin, USDT, which has a market cap of more than 70 billion compared to the second largest USDC, 54 billion. We all know that we have problems with Tether. We don't know if they're detrimental, but we know that we like so far not where I'm going with it. Hey, Eurocoin is regulated. What'd you say?
Hey, can you scroll back up for 1 second? What was the name of the bank that was involved with this?
Silvergate Bank. So Sam.
So do you know what also? And I don't know if this is the same bank or not, right? But do you know who also uses a bank called Silver Bank? Maybe you'll recognize the name when we bring this up. You know who this guy is?
Oh wow, Sam. Oh God.
US-based Silver.
Hold on 1 second. Hold on 1 second. 1 second. MicroStrategy, guys. This is what we're looking at here. What do we know about MicroStrategy? It's run by Michael Saylor.
No, it's different. You're looking at Silver versus Silvergate. This one's Silvergate. You're looking at Silver.
Thank you. I was like, wait a second.
Glad we didn't go down that rabbit hole. So anyway, let's go back to the article.
Could be the same entity, but yes. Thank you for that.
It's all owned by Michael Saylor's boys anyway. So let's see.
Sorry about that. Regulators
and lawmakers in the European Union, UE, are in the process of setting up rules for stablecoin issuer. Oh, my bad. Eurocoin is regulated euro-backed stablecoin issued under the same full reserve model and built on the same pillars of trust, transparency, and security that have made the USDC one of the most trusted digital currencies. That statement has, yes, for sure. Following the publication of this article, a representative of the Circle told CoinDesk that Euro C reserves will be made up from cash and euro government debt only. Regulators and lawmakers in the European Union are in the process of setting up rules for stablecoin issuers looking to serve customers in the bloc's 27 member states. The market in the crypto asset MiCA legislation, set to be finalized by the end of June, includes stringent rules, particularly for large stablecoin issuers. It is unclear how a euro-backed stablecoin issued under the U.S. standards might be perceived by the UE leaders, and how Circle is anticipating the UE's pending legislation. A representative of the Circle told CoinDesk that company will not comment publicly on conversations or the existence of conversations with US, UE, or other regulators. Very interesting statement. So basically, they're saying, guys, that they're anticipating immediate legislation when this is issued, when people start using it, and they're not going to comment on it. That's what they said. That's basically what they just said. Like, they're not going to comment on it. Like, that's too legality binding probably to talk about.
Do you find it funny? By the way, I just checked. I wanted to ask you if you find it funny that you back up crypto with a fake currency, right? But this is CNBC, right? MicroStrategies. Check this out. It actually is Silverbank. It is the same bank, and they reference it twice. So the same bank with Circle is also working with Circle. Michael Saylor and their MicroStrategies. So same exact bank is doing this with the Circle Foundation, or Circle Company that issued USDC.
So we're going to be looking more at. You should do a little segment on this at some point, where you say, hey, there's this new coin that came out. Hey, this is the bank. Hey, this is tied here. That would be cool. That was a good side tangent. That was important to understand. Like, and what did I say right after you said
that was really good. Yeah, that was really
Michael
good.
Saylor's boy is on it. If anything, right?
Right. I thought, because that was a good point. Bullish was like, hey, wait, this is Silverbank. I was like, okay, cool. Hold on. Let me just double check this. So I found this is from, the perception is slightly more credible. It's CNBC. We can talk about the credibility or not, but the perception, a lot of people's minds is that there's more credibility there. And they use Silvergate.
I guess Michael Saylor backs USDC then.
Yep. Interesting. And so what do you think about?
That's like Bitcoin backing USDC, basically.
Think about the dichotomy here. People in crypto scared of risky assets during a bear market. What do? They put their money into stable coins.
Or Bitcoin.
Or Bitcoin, right? And the perception is that they're putting their money from a risky thing to a less risky thing. When the less risky thing that is USDC is backed up by a made-up currency called US dollars that we know is going down. I don't know. I just find it hilarious that, like, the perception is that these things that are decentralized, right? These things
decentralization does not exist. Decentralization as a whole does not exist.
Not yet. Yes. No. If the nodes, though, if we can get this
layer one pulse chain node system onboard ramps, then we're there. And that's not that hard. That's not too much on the plate.
Especially look at how many projects have launched in the last 3 months. And we've only seen like this tiny little part of the market, and we've seen probably 100 projects launch, or heard about 100 projects launch, and we're only in this little microcosm of crypto paying attention to it. But then we have these microcosms all over crypto, right? And you have projects launching pretty much every single day. So the pace of adoption is astonishing. Like what is taking place right now is I've said it before, like 1999, where if you have a .com of some sort, you can raise money, and only certain ones survived. It's going to be the same thing as right now. There's so much shit out there in the market that is not going to survive this. Only the good stuff is going to survive. There's probably going to be a boatload of them that do survive, but there's going to be so many that just utterly fail.
Most of them, right? Like if you look at the top 15 from 2016, it's unrecognizable. So it's going to be the same thing in a way, and people just be like, Hex is a top 10 coin, it's a scam. It'll just be there. And it'll just be, we'll just slowly move up the ranks. It's exactly what's going to happen. There's nothing you can do about it. We're talking about software, dollar in value proposition, and nothing's done it better than Hex. Even at this point, people that have 1,000 T shares are making 6,000 Hex per day, which is like $300.
Do you think that, right? We're talking about this Circle thing, right? Do you think that Circle, right, based upon in the United States, just because of the perception that the United States is special, and so they've done a really good job PRing themselves, Circle could kind of, if successful, launching this Euro C crypto euro dollar thing, right? And then they could do this in Australia. They can do this in pretty much every single country. They could effectively become the global arbiter of how a lot of people actually use crypto.
Is this bullish for crypto? Probably. Most likely, because like what me and Sam said, and everyone's been saying for years, regulation is also important for a lot of people. Not for me, but I'm not lots of people. I'm a little nomad boy. And so just know, like, people, if they actually understand these concepts at some point, which understanding a stable coin backed by $1 is not that complicated. But when people get to the point where they understand that a 1 USDC is the exact same thing as 1 USDC in your bank account, they both don't exist at all. There's zero existing power there. It's all speculation. It's all social consensus. And that's why I think Hex is just going to reign supreme, because it can't be stopped really, like, very easily, unless Ethereum goes down. And that would be just like, we're all fucked. All right, let's go back. Okay, Feeder said, yeah, sure, be on your show to discuss nodes. You're tagged in it, GRC. My job is done.
Romania Dan, thank you. Your job is not done. I haven't seen any dope memes lately. Like, what's
up? Sam, go ahead and read this for a second, and I'll.
He has a newborn, so we have to cut him some slack.
Oh, we should see. Hey, congrats, bro. I'm happy for you.
We'll cut him some slack. He made a big mistake with the newborn. No, I'm just kidding. I'm absolutely kidding, dude. Congratulations. That's incredible. A couple of the guys in the Hex community have kids on the low. And so always remember, guys, like, people got kids and shit, and they're doing stuff. They're not all 24-hour servicing you with super value.
Stablecoins are addressed by MICA because they could indeed raise concerns regarding the EU monetary policy, stability, and sovereignty. Ava, vice president of the European Parliament, told CoinDesk during an interview. The Euro coin will launch on the Ethereum blockchain on June 3rd. Oh, wow. What's today's date?
Today would be the 16th.
Oh, shit. This is launching in 14 days. This is interesting. Okay. As an ERC20 standard token, support for additional blockchains is expected later this year. According to the announcement, several ecosystems, including Anchorage Digital, Binance.us, Bitstamp, FTX, Huobi Global, Ledger, and MetaMask Institutional will support the stablecoin at launch. Wow, they're gonna have a lot of support out the gate, obviously, because they're just USDC. This is very interesting. Can you scroll up just a smidge? According to Circle's official website, Eurocoin is initially only accessible via Silvergate's EuroSen network, which requires potential users to have an active banking relationship with the bank. Once trading on exchanges kicks off, people and businesses will be able to trade for and withdraw EuroC on Ethereum compatible wallets, the website says. Okay, so what is the Silvergate probably just wants to increase the amount of data that they gather from people through their KYC and assets under management by setting this up. But the EuroSen network, I don't know what that is, but it's probably a banking consortium of some sort. This is interesting. The website says,
real quick side tangent for half a second. I was thinking about all the people that sacrificed a lot of their S coins for Pulse at a really high rate. And I extrapolated in my head that they're all going to be on such a financial upside from that because of the downturn, that it's going to be more profit bound for them. There's going to be more premium, like whether it's real or not, because it's just the downside risk. Everyone knows about it. It's not 100%, but it's probable. So like I sacrificed my hex at roughly like 25 cents on average, and that hex is just not worth and it's a USD value thing at the time you send it. So it's pretty that, and people were talking about the downward pressure in Pulse Chain. I'm telling you guys, be careful, be alert.
So wait,
Don't think you're gonna 10x the fucking day it comes out. Like,
talk about this because, or I'll give context on this, right? So I think what GRC is saying, very keen observation, I like it, is that you have some shitcoins that were donated in the Pulse Chain.
millions and millions and millions and millions and millions and millions and millions, hundreds of millions.
For Pulse and Pulse X. So you have a boatload of these tokens that were donated in the sacrifice for the Pulse X and Pulse.
And this is at the top of the market.
Yes.
Roughly.
Yeah, right. A year ago, almost exactly a year ago, was probably close to the top of the market.
Mm-hmm.
And they've donated at these higher prices, meaning that if they were like, okay, I had $100,000 worth of some shit coin, that shit coin is now worth $7,000. The same quantity of tokens is down 93%, right, from $100,000 down to $7,000. And you're like, is that possible? Yes, it is 100% possible. Hex is currently from 56 cents down to 3 cents, right? Around a 96% drop?
Yep.
98% drop, something like that. So if you put in $100,000 of a shit coin and now it is only $5,000 worth, you're like, I actually did a really good thing. So when
90% of people wouldn't have sold in that time anyway. So think about that. They're going to anticipate, because they know they wouldn't have sold. Most people, maybe there's a couple keen guys that would have, but most people wouldn't have. So they're going to anticipate that they had lost that money in their mind. They would have felt as if they lost that value anyway. So now it's like a double, it's like a double whammy, because they're like, oh, I sacked all this money. The market's down. Now I have more leverage on the market. Now I have more leverage on USDC. Now I have more leverage on Bitcoin. It's dropping to 11K. You know what I mean? So people just need to realize there could be long-term downward, not downward, sideways, I would say more in my head, sideways pressure on Pulse Chain and Pulse X that people just can't really anticipate unless you get into the nuance of this, because we're talking about millions and billions of dollars that they would have lost anyway. Sam.
No, you're right. It's a good point, dude. They were able to trade their thing at the peak of the market for this large quantity.
30 grand USD right now. How crucial is that compared to when at the top of the bull market it was like fluff money? I had 30 G's in freaking liquid Hex, and I was like, my bag's little, like I didn't even care, because I was like, this is just going on forever. But then they were like, oh, that was only my place to extract funds. I didn't really have necessarily like a fuck ton of funds. And when the Pulse Chain came out, I wanted to go all in or whatever, like a good amount. So I put a lot in there from those really highly inflated funds that I necessarily didn't deserve, right? I didn't wait for that. That was like 4 months. So I had this inflated market that I got off on the best layer one on. And then with 95% downward pressure, it gives you ridiculous leverage. I'm like, dude, I could buy, imagine I could have bought, just think about this. Let's say I sacrificed 30 grand. I could have bought half a Bitcoin. What if I could buy 3 Bitcoin at the bottom of the market by selling just what I'm just saying, guys.
No, dude. Yes, this is good. This is good stuff. You could go through, get your pulse, dump that shit if you want.
And people will do it, so I don't have to be like,
correct.
I don't have to be like, oh,
it's not fun.
everyone's
it's
a hex
truth.
and blah, blah, blah. Like, let's be serious.
It's
people need
truth.
money.
And they would, if they're like, hey, if I was going to do $30,000 at the peak, I think Ethereum was around $5 grand, right? So you had 6 Ethereum. Now you could take that out and you could buy 16 Ethereum for the same price that you put it in at. Like, that's like a gift to a lot of people.
It's like a miracle for guys. Like, I'm just talking reality. Like, I'm not saying necessarily what I would do. I'm definitely in a weird position where I have a lot of nuanced information, right? So I can DCA and stay in USDC and buy more Hex very small at a time. And it's cool for me. That feels fine for me. I don't feel that premium that I'm getting ripped out of, because that's where it comes from, Sam. People feel the premium. So like if you buy at 27 cents and it drops to 3, it doesn't matter what you know necessarily, except if you're just the smallest motherfucker percent of dudes like that are just like really honed in on this, that basically do this for a living. It's very interesting. I know where Pulse Chain's going. I know where these things are going. I don't necessarily care, but understand that marketing incentive. Why would RH ever say this shit's not going to the moon immediately? Because he's already gave us the real information. He's already told us 95% dips are a part of the game. We watched Hex come out. It dumped immediately, 85% or whatever. And people will just forget it.
What do you know the rate at which, you know, $10,000 would have gotten you in Pulse or Pulse X or something?
Yeah,
like in terms of the dollar,
roughly 100 million pulse on the first day.
So is that like 0.40?
I think it's 4 zeros or 3.
Okay. So imagine a 95% drop off of that at launch due to what you're saying, right? What you're saying, people are going to be selling. People are scared. People don't know. Right? What's up, fella? What's up, Optimal Timeline?
I would like 40 grand in USDC right now. Would be nice. And that's just as real as it kind of gets because, and I'm not super rich, so like everyone's different, right? If I had $100 million, I wouldn't give a fuck. I would just be DCAing and doing my business. But that's not the case. I got to make sure I keep this shit running around here because I'm not there yet. You know what I mean? Like I could, when I say keep running, I want to build business. I want to move forward. So it's just interesting, right? It's interesting that you hear these things over and over again, but then if you look at the numbers, a lot of the same things happen over and over again. And if you look at Ethereum, dude, Richard told us, just think about this statement before Hex came out. I wasn't around, but I looked at the videos. He said, Hex will outperform Bitcoin and Ethereum before it launched because it has less negative externalities. So therefore it will just by definition stay above it. And it's done it the whole time.
Is it still above it though? At this
if
point?
you look at the line, like, I mean, yes, maybe there's like a time or two where, but
okay.
So, but if you look at the line, like, and you draw a line, like it's just in a little bit better of a position. It's not like a fucking 10,000 times better.
Yeah. It's
but
a little
just
bit
think
better,
about that. Ethereum, Hex, Bitcoin, guys. It's gonna be crazy.
This is going to be what an exciting time to be in crypto with all this amazing stuff happening, with cool projects launching, with being able to focus on it every day, with this macro environment coming into like bear recession territory. We saw this in quarter 1. We're going to see this in quarter 2, and unless they change how they calculate things, we're gonna right. It's 2 quarters in a row is a recession, so we're going to have this 2 quarters in a row be in a recession officially, right? And we're going to be entering in all this stuff. What comes out of recessions? If you look back in every single recession, those are important times because you have important companies that are launched during those times, because when things take place, so it's actually below both of them right now, but still very cool.
Yeah, but like, if you look at, hold on, let me zoom in on my screen. Scroll. So here's the ROI since launch. So we have in the pink, we have Hex. Okay. So, and what's so Hex shares is the only one that's above that. So if you look at, other than the beginning part, we have stayed clear and above on the logarithmic chart. Both Ethereum.
Well, this says Hex.
BNB, Hedron, Maxi, Bitcoin, Ethereum.
And it says ROI of multiple shares since launch, but a T-share, you can't trade that, so it doesn't fucking matter, in my opinion.
Well, yeah, no, I know they're just showing the chart,
right. But if you just focus on the pink, that statement holds true. Since it launched, it's been outperforming.
You get about double.
Yeah, but you're like if this is talking about the
semantics,
right?
Yeah, it's all semantics.
Because if I program something to constantly go up, then the T-share is always going to go up. And
right. But if you look at the Hex
is that
chart,
it's understanding this?
Yeah. Right? No, exactly. They're just doing that for marketing value. Scroll up one real quick. I just want to see this chart. So here's the ROI since launch. And yeah, you could see where we're at, where that mega dip. But if you look at Bitcoin, right around where Bitcoin was, if you look at Ethereum in the green, pretty much it's a crazy time. And again, the bear markets were timed up at different times. The Hex was launched in a bear. So it's like, there's a little bit of nuance with all this, but I mean, it's pretty insane.
No, it is.
Compared to Bitcoin and Ethereum, the two most explosive assets that have ever been created in the world.
We're gonna have more explosive.
And he said it beforehand. I was like, what the fuck?
we're gonna have more explosive growth as we see more of this type of thing happening, where we have legacy players that have influence and power in legacy world entering into the crypto space that is going to draw in a lot more people that have a lot more money in here, right? We want everybody. We know everybody's going to be in here, but the more people that can get in here before all these big people get in here, the better. You want to read through part of this too, because I found this
Real
very
quick.
interesting.
Gains Club said, I think Sam should look into how these different code yield, interest, inflation. Yeah, kind of. Yeah. So are you talking about Hex in particular? I saw that you did an episode on Hex. That was pretty cool. What were you highlighting in that? Just for 2 seconds.
For which one?
I just saw your head in a hex.com website.
Oh, I was talking about Hex and Pulse, and relative to that project that I would not recommend anybody put any money into this morning.
I see.
Because so this coin, right? Okay, to give context, this coin called something, and I'm not going to even say it because you probably shouldn't put money into it, but you can check my Twitter if you want to watch the video. And basically, there's a 15% tax to buy this token. That tax goes.
Are you talking about Marshall Roganinu?
No, Reflexon or something, or
fuck it. It's the same. It's all stupid. Anyway, let me start reading this. When you see a double tax, you're wrecked. Don't buy it. So stupid. Uniswap Labs hires former NYSE president to be advisor. So okay, hold on. NYSE president to be advisor. What's exactly an advisor? I guess we'll figure that out. Stacey Cunningham was the stock exchange first female president. Wow. So what does this mean, guys? In just like the first sentence, it means legacy once over. She's done. She's like, this is over. And just like Bullish always says, those really good devs and those big markets will be crawling over here in a year, and they'll be getting a little worse rates, but they'll still be crushing it. And that's why we're getting it now. Anyway, Uniswap Labs,
another thing, more females getting into crypto, so that's a plus.
Yes, female, and she's pretty cute, so maybe that's a little bit of a good marketing situation going on there. Not that we judge ladies on cuteness only. Personality, very important. Uniswap Labs, the company behind Uniswap, an Ethereum-based decentralized finance platform, said Wednesday via a Twitter thread that it has hired Stacey Cunningham. In a time where everyone's getting fired, Stacey Cunningham gets hired. Cunningham most recently worked at the New York Stock Exchange, where she served as the first female president from 2018 to 2021. According to the Twitter thread, Cunningham joined Uniswap Labs because she believes in the potential of decentralized exchange and in Uniswap's commitment to fair markets. Wow. She got some insight there. A person with knowledge of the matter told CoinDesk that Cunningham will focus on regulation for Uniswap's role in DeFi. This could be humongous for Hex.
This could just be humongous in general. So think about what NYSE is, the New York Stock Exchange, right? So you have
go off. I need to know more.
The president of the New York Stock Exchange, one of the best known stock exchanges, been in many movies, has probably been in many songs. It's all over the place globally. This lady is now coming over to be effectively a consultant. Who knows what the capacity of her advisor role is with Uniswap. This is crazy because that's what they were doing over there, right? So you have a bunch of nerds that all get together and they create Uniswap, and it's like, oh, this is super cool. Then they learn more about how trading works and how markets work, and then they come out with V2, right? And then they learn more and they bring more people on, and they come out with V3, and it's the most popular DEX for Ethereum by far. And now you're bringing in this legacy player who has all the contacts, has all the context and contacts to really bring Uniswap up to the next level. This is going to be super interesting.
We got to get to the nodes before the New York Stock Exchange, guys.
Yes.
Cunningham most recently worked at the New York Stock Exchange, where she served as the first female president. I already read that. A person with knowledge of the matter told CoinDesk that Cunningham will focus on regulation of Uniswap's role in DeFi. Uniswap hiring is a part of a growing trend of the traditional finance executives moving to work at crypto companies. It just makes sense, guys. More efficient, more money. In February, Coinbase hired former Goldman Sachs What is a GS?
Just Goldman Sachs.
Oh, okay. Goldman Sachs partner Roger Bartlett to spearhead global financial operations in March. Longtime Citigroup executive Morgan McKinney joined Province Blockchain as its new CEO. Guys, wow. Very interesting stuff. At the end of the day, what does this mean? All the nuance there, it means they're coming over. And they're coming over in a bear. So what if the bear market doesn't last as long? These are all things you have to think about, because when the market starts moving up, it's moving up then. If we break past 50%, like, I mean, of all-time highs, like, hold your fucking balls together, because it's just going to be the people are ready. You know, they're ready. Like, how many hexagons are just gaining wealth right now on the outside? That's all we're doing. We're all trying to do the same thing. Yeah, RG, yeah, definitely red flags as far as decentralization is concerned. Probably good as far as adoption and price performance. As far as, I think he just means like we're getting a little more centralized. More rich people that know more rich people that know more rich people are getting involved in the legislation piece of thing. And some of the hexagons like RG3 are on the legislation mission themselves. So regulation coming. Careful who gets in the hen house. Yes, sir.
When was the peak in the bull market? About a year ago. So
For Bitcoin, it was like 18 months ago.
18 months ago. Okay. Well, if we look at from 2017 through up to 18 months ago, right? So that's a couple years there, right? We have all of 18, 19, 20, and then part of 21, right? Because if it was, well, basically 3 years, give or take several months in either direction. So we have 36 months. So if Bitcoin is the signaling type of top here, and Bitcoin peak was about 12 months ago, 18 months ago, whatever that was, we're 18 months in, which means we have another 18 months if this follows the same type of pattern of being 36 months, right? 2017 to now. Now, how could this be offset? How could this potentially be changed if, right? Frosty was talking about the little people, right? The peons. He was using much friendlier language than that, but the bees or ants or whatever you want to call it. The more the adoption comes in, if that adoption rate accelerates, that will be enough to offset the downward trend, depending on how quickly things are being adopted. So depending on how quickly people are coming into the marketplace, that could be enough to offset the downward trend in crypto, where I think a very interesting thing could happen, where we have a bull run in crypto while a recession in the macro level world economy and a recession in stocks. That could be interesting, because that's not normal, right? Like if the whole thing, they are all kind of moving together. But if we have because of the adoption is happening so quickly in crypto, like every day new people are getting into crypto globally. And it's not just like a US market for crypto. This is global. Yeah, certain protocols are more heavily in one market than another market. But
Dude, half of our users are in Aussie.
Or Europe, right? China, Australia.
I find less in Europe, and I'm hoping that this maybe in some way like that I don't understand kind of like helps that. There's a lot. I find that there's a lack of faith in crypto in Europe. I don't know if that to be true, but from the people that I talk about, their legislation is so strict. But I don't know. You know, like that's kind of totally speculation at this point. Let's jump into this. I want to see this.
Okay, so this is we were talking about crypto. I was just curious to see what this looks like. This is Google Trends.
So you just typed in crypto. Okay. Ooh, chart looks good.
Check this out, though. This is in this last this current week, from the 12th through the 18th. The search volume on the second largest search engine in the world, YouTube, has seen a spike up. And people just recently, just in this last week, we have seen a spike up to this point right here. I don't know if this is going to continue.
That could be lower high, you know, and it could just go lower, you know.
It could.
I'm really excited to look back at this, and this could just be the last spike before total death, because they're trying to squeeze right now, right? Everyone's squeezing for liquidity right now. Everyone on Twitter that's telling you to buy something wants your money. Period. End of story. There's too much value on the table. Even in the bull market, they do that. In the dollar's worth nothing. And they still ruin their reputations. So it's crazy to think right now This people will forget all this shit that happened over here in 2017. Not one human remembers, other than the people that are still here that have a lot of money. So, you know what I mean? Like only the successful people have made it to this point, and all the other people probably got wrecked within this bull. So it's
we
crazy.
also almost, you know how like people talk about, I'm not a big fan of TA, right? But if you look at this and you were thinking in lines of technical analysis, right? You have this 25 right here, which is the search interest relative to the highest point here. That's almost like a support, right? Where it's sitting on here, goes bust through it, then it sits on it here, right around, when this is 2020 something. Then it comes down, touches it again here, tries to come down, doesn't touch it here, tries to come down here and here, doesn't get to it. It just breaks through it slightly here or touches again. But now we're seeing a lift off again. I don't think it's going to necessarily go way below this. I think there's so much adoption happening that we don't get to see.
It makes sense both ways. It's crazy. It does make sense both ways. Like if something catastrophic happens, I think all of us could be like, oh shit. You know what I mean? Like if another war happens that's just heavy and that they made up, that is probably not even happening, that they're running on the news. Like it's just like whatever they say goes. That's what I don't like. There's probably 5 or 10 countries right now that everyone's getting slaughtered in. And they'll just pick one and say, hey guys, stuff's fucked up right now. And you're like, wait, people have been getting beheaded since the birth of man.
You had mentioned, and I apologize in advance for this, but you had mentioned heavy, right? And it made me think of BitBoy and what is actually going on with this.
Okay, so let me get into this.
Thumbs up for that transition, guys.
BitBoy, guys. BitBoy. Ben Armstrong, BitBoy, is filing a class action lawsuit against Celsius and its CEO. The only class action lawsuit that should be talked about is that this dude was been shilling Ripple for the last 4 years. What a dork. YouTuber Ben Armstrong, aka BitBoy, is filing a class action lawsuit against Celsius and CEO Alex Mashinsky. Ben runs a YouTube channel that goes by the name BitBoy with over 1.45 million subscribers. Just in, YouTuber Ben BitBoy has announced a class action lawsuit against Cell and CEO Alex Mashinsky. This is a publicity act, but we'll keep reading it. The prominent crypto staking and lending platform, not crypto, bro. The prominent staking and lending centralized dictatorship, Celsius, is witnessing a downfall with speculation piling up one over the other. And this has been happening for years. The Celsius network had a particular turbulent weekend that platform was chastised for its poor financial management. In May, the crypto staking network reportedly had 1.7 million users and 12 billion in customers in holding. In the midst of it all, Celsius wrote a blog post announcing the suspension of withdrawals, hodl mode engaged for the users, swaps and transfers. So basically, you can't move any of your money off Celsius.
So
that's all that means. That's all that means. It's like
yes.
You no longer move your money by. And I press that button.
If you think of like, because you used to own this, but if you think of crypto, right? We've talked about Crypto.com's annual State of the Nation for crypto. They have a report that says there's around 300 million users in crypto. So to call Celsius prominent when what is 1.7 million divided by 300 million, because that's going to give us the percent of the total market they have.
It's like a 0.3.
They have less than, they have about 0.5% of the people in crypto. 300 million people, 0.5% of those people used Celsius or use, according to the data that they self-report, that who knows about the accuracy and legitimacy of their data, right? I don't know. Just an interesting point. I wouldn't call them prominent personally.
Celsius to face further trouble with BitBoy's lawsuit, Ben Armstrong tweeted that he would begin the process of a class action lawsuit against Celsius and Alex. To add to the already facing battles, now Celsius might have to face further trouble in court. Ben claims that he is one infected and will deliver more details, more like his DMs are affected by death threats. Armstrong wrote, this is a publicity stunt to get people off his ass. Armstrong wrote that the firm has enough funds to pay off its debts, 1.2 million to Aave and 2.5 million in staked ETH collateral, Staked ETH cannot be used.
Say, wait. Before you read into this part, tell them what you just talked about, how this is used as a stunt by BitBoy to
Yeah,
get
so
people out of the
BitBoy
deal.
basically, what happens if you shill a coin any way, shape, or form, the people that bought in at that time and stopped watching you are going to send you death threats. And it'll be either a joke or they'll be pissed at you, and it's really bad press. So what do you do immediately? You go online and you say a bunch of bull S that you'll never do because it'll cost you too much money anyway, and it won't go anywhere. If you read the white paper, you know that HODL mode will get effect. HODL mode right in your face. Imagine Armstrong wrote that the firm has enough funds to hold, blah, blah, blah. Imagine an insolvent company that you can't withdraw your money from asking you to send them more money. Literally defies logic. Yeah, well, logic is not a part of a lawsuit. It's just what you signed. So you may be asking yourself the question, why would they not let you pay off your loan with money, crypto, or stables that are already in your account? Yes, you cannot bring money on the account either. So you can't even add money to your
You
position.
can make your position better. Like
can't
you're
save
not in a
yourself.
good spot, and we won't allow if your shit gets fucked up, you're effed. But we will not allow you to actually improve your position by taking money from somewhere else and putting it on your loan position or short position to make it even better.
Yep, you're going to get liquidated and you have no choice. So BitBoy said that Celsius and Alex are scamming people and are asking him to send more money. Scroll down a little bit, Bush. Oh, this was interesting. How Celsius and Mashinsky are actively scamming people right now. Now, when the verbiage at the top is very weak. So if actively scamming people is not illegal, especially if they sign. So just understand, guys, this is very word light. Like, I don't think I'd like to see the documentation on this one day. I doubt it'll ever exist. Our account rep at Celsius Network is Ronald Lowe. He told us we had enough money in our account to pay off a loan, but we can't use money in our account. We have to send Celsius more money to pay it off. So they actually had to send Cell. It was saying that they could no longer send their other funds in there. This is a pure scam to try to bring fresh money from users to pay off loans. You see, once Ethereum hits a certain number, we get liquidated and lose all our collateral against the loan. So they are trying to take advantage of fear in the market and pad their pockets. Yes, not illegal. That's what every single crypto user does. Every single personal crypto user does the same thing. They tell you to buy all their shit all the time, and then they dump some of it. But in this case, the macro is so wrecked that he knows he has no reputation saving power left. So he's a little Russian snake. So he's going to jump out of there.
On a more slightly diabolical theme, what if Mashinsky is a super intelligent fellow?
Mm-hmm.
And back in the day, I think it was Goldman Sachs and another firm, what they were actually doing is shorting the market when they knew in advance it was going to crash. What if Mashinsky and fellow people at Celsius knew what was going to happen in the market? Because everybody here, we're like, hey, this is not a bull market.
Well, it's safe to say Mashinsky knew more about the market than me.
Yep. And because Goldman Sachs did this, they profited off of 2008, right? Like by shorting the market. So what if this is
basically
actually Celsius is doing?
They pulled funds and then they wait for it to go down. Is that kind of like they're trying to say?
So I have something on my balance sheet, right? I own several companies and I have a bunch of shit on my balance sheet. And I'm like, hey, GRC, you want this thing that pays you, right? Called MDO, like a mortgage-backed security of some sort, right? It's MCO or MDO. There's different terminology for it. So I sell that to you that I'll buy it back from you at some point in the future. And I know it's going to zero. So I have to I sell it to you for several $1 million, and I know that I can buy it back from you. Bless you. As soon as that shit crashes at a price of zero, which means that I sold it to you for $2 million and I buy it back from you for $25,000. I make $2 million effectively. Like he could be doing that right now. I have no idea.
Yeah, because again, the dollar right now is worth so much more, even in just like value, like save your butt value right now. Like, you know what I mean? Look how much the dollar is right now, dude. If someone gave me $500 a year ago, I literally would just be like, I don't care. And now it's just like, dude, if I had $500, that would be fucking lit. Like, I need that for a nice DCA or whatever. Like, it's time for the dollar. Maybe we could all get together on a Zoom meeting and read powerfully written opinions about the unfair volatility of crypto and then send a thumb drive to the SEC.
It's got colorful commentary on Twitter as well,
Colorful
guys.
commentary. Guys, crypto is the future. Decentralized finance is the future. Taxes are the future. Get ready for it all. If you make $20 million, taxes don't hurt as much as if you only make $10,000 because you have extra money, and you can make more money in this world right now doing jackass than ever. Well, when I say jackass, like not leaving your house, more like it.
If anybody does have a W-2 job and they'd like to make more money, first of all, I'm not your accountant and I'm not your lawyer, but what somebody could do, if you work a W-2 job, you can literally just start a business. The business, by the way, doesn't have to make money, and you can actually make more money. You're like, what? This guy, what is he talking about? This crazy whack job. He's on the morning talking about crypto. He's like, you can start a company that doesn't make any money if you work a W-2 job and you make money. It's pretty simple. It's just taxes. If you go through and you start a business that doesn't make any money and you pull in 20%, 30%, 40% of your expenses, you can write those things off, and that pulls them in so that you get a 30% discount, or in your case, a 30% increase in your tax. So effectively, say if it was $10,000, but maybe it's $30,000. So it's $10,000. You write all that stuff off through your business, and you don't make any money in your business because you're starting your business out. Now you have $3,000 of additional money in your pocket by just starting this business and going through and writing this off. If this is $30,000, that's $9,000. Would you like another $750 a month if you're working a W-2 job and you're like, I want more money? Figure out what I'm talking about, and you can do this yourself. It is not that complex at all to do. Anybody can do this if they're working a W-2 job and they want to increase their income.
Guys, what an amazing show. We'll be back tomorrow covering everything that drops. We got Gold Key coming on this week. We got Feeder in the batting cage. We got everyone coming on, guys. Every single day. Crypto in the morning. Sam's posting videos every single day. I'm live every single day. I'm doing some one-off streams here and there. We're getting busy, and we're really excited about the future of crypto. Make sure you guys are staying safe and keeping your funds, as safe as you possibly can, and increasing your position if possible. Don't be stupid right now. Yeah, 3-1 could hold for Hex and move sideways for the rest of the bear market for sure. There was just $1 million USD sell 2 hours ago, and it only dropped the price like 12%, bounced right back up. So, guys, we're getting to that point where the limit orders are getting a little sticky. Obviously, anything can happen. Macro nightmare. Just be safe. Anyone that wants a topic on the show covered, comment below once we're done. Comment below topics to cover. Be in our DMs. We love topics. We love pitches. We love devs. We love talking about crypto. We want ideas. We're new, and anyone that has cool ideas, we like to share them. Comments is an easy place to go because I usually get to all of them. Guys, follow us on Twitter. Follow us on Instagram. Follow us on TikTok. Follow us on everything. Sam Stolled on everything. Jim Rat Crypto on everything. Links are below. Have a wonderful day, guys. DeFi Proof. You want to pull that up, Sam?
Let's pull up DeFi Proof. And I just like the DeFi Proof song because I like listening to my name in a song. And if you guys do too, make sure you press that like button and that subscribe button.
You already know what time it is.
Crypto in the morning.
Crypto in the morning.
Crypto in the morning.
Waiting on phone.
Crypto in the morning. Crypto in the morning.
Ready to take notes.
Crypto in the morning.
Crypto in the morning.
Crypto in the morning.
Waiting on phone.
Crypto in the morning. Crypto in the morning.
Ready to take notes.
Smoking a blunt on my way to the gym. 11 a.m. and I'm already tuned in. Got me some hacks and I'm making a stake. Got me some hedge on, I'm making it rain. Pay me some maxi and that's just in case. Jim Reddit sent me to show you the way.